Hi, Linda. Hope you had a great week. So I think today I'm going to go over some easier songs. Um, Although for all I know, you know, the songs that we've been doing are totally fine now and ready to go. But just in case, just so you have something a little bit easier to work on, go over some easier stuff here. Because I think the probably the most important thing in music is rhythm, and so if we can simplify the keys a little bit, then that gives us a chance to focus on rhythm, which is good. So that's what we'll be doing here. I'm going to send over or have an email forwarded to you with a scan of this song and probably a couple others, maybe one other, depending on how much time or how many I can fit. But yeah, so okay, first thing would be this is missing bar lines, and by that I mean here I'll show you an example. Right, in our usual book, after 4 beats, or depending on the song, I guess, but after 4 beats, they draw a line, right? So that's how we know to start over at one again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. In this book, we don't have that. So the first step that you'd want to do, if you can print this out, even better, but if you can actually draw in lines after every 4 beats so that we separate this into measures. So that way we can, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You could anyway, but it's just good practice. Okay, so what's different about this song is, well, for one, it only uses 3 of your fingers, the middle 3 on both hands. And the other thing is it only uses black notes. So that makes it, I think, a little bit easier. You have like kind of an obvious anchor point. So you find a group of 3 black notes that are next to each other, right? Because as we know, it goes 3 here, 2, 3, 2, right, up and down the keyboard. So we're going to find groups of 3 black notes for both hands to use, like this. And then you can actually just follow the finger numbers for now, kind of like we did in our first lesson. But you can also see that when it moves up by 1 note, it moves a little higher on the page, right? So this is missing a staff, right? So there's no lines really, but as long as you got your fingers here, you'll be playing it correctly. So then the thing to focus on here would be trying to play it from start to finish without pausing or slowing down or stopping or anything. Doesn't mean you have to do that right away, but that's the ultimate goal, is to be able to go through this, keeping the rhythm correct and consistent and the tempo correct and right, the beat consistent. So I'm going to just play it just so you can see what this sounds like. So here we go. And I realize, you might not be able to see what's on here super well on the screen. So yeah, if you can print out the PDF, that's going to be the best thing possible here. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. So that's what it sounds like. I just noticed that I didn't explain this, which is if there is a note that's repeated, they won't write the finger number again. So these 3 here are all finger 4, right? So if it doesn't say, it's just whatever the previous one was. Same thing over here, right? That happens over here too. And that's also why they stay at the same height on the page. Okay. So yeah, this is just like all the other rhythmic stuff we've done, right? We've got quarter notes, we've got half notes, and assuming you've drawn the bar lines in, we're playing in 4/4. We've got 4 beats per measure. But yeah, I'm curious to hear how this one is, kind of on the difficulty scale. I think this should be pretty good. There's another thing here at the bottom. This rhythm pattern, right, quarter, quarter, half, occurs 6 times. So at some point, take a second to identify. You don't actually have to circle them if you don't want to, but to identify all the places where that exact rhythm occurs: quarter, quarter, half. Now there is also a teacher duet for this one that we can do. So it sounds like something like that. Anyway, I'm trying to play both parts at once, but all right, I think that pretty much covers this one. I don't think it's too crazy or too complicated. But moving on now to this one, I'll scan this one for you as well. This is the one that's labeled page 20 at the bottom. I hear the echo. So this is going to incorporate dynamics, meaning changes in volume, or like volume instructions. So forte and piano, namely. You can see, oh yeah, sorry, another thing I didn't actually mention. For your right hand, it'll say RH. For your left hand, it'll say LH. Totally forgot to mention that. RH, LH. So that's what those mean. I wish they would just write right hand and left hand, but yeah, right hand for this whole part and then left hand for this whole part. And they're not played simultaneously. Right, we do this and then this. Although you could certainly try to play them at the same time. That would be interesting. Okay, so moving on. Right hand begins forte. So we're playing loudly here. And then still right hand, but now it's piano. Right, and we get down here. Now the left hand plays. So it's going to be forte. And then the left hand plays piano. So loud, soft, loud, soft. So same thing. As you can see in the top corner, I know you can't see it on my screen or on the video screen, but 3 black keys. We're going to put fingers 2, 3, and 4 there. So I'm going to play this one. This one should sound kind of like this, right? The idea is that it's an echo. So we have like a loud sound and then it echoes softer. The exact same thing right after. So should sound like this. I'll kind of count us off. Oh, same thing though. Draw in bar lines every 4 beats. Just separate them into measures. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So nothing too crazy. This one also has a teacher duet. So we'll see if we can do both of those next time. I'll give you maybe 1 or 2 more because that's pretty short for a week. So, oh, okay. Actually, this is perfect. So this is Old MacDonald Had a Farm, basically. I'll aim this up a little bit. Actually, well, it's better for you to see the keys. So I'm gonna move this back. So this is Old MacDonald Had a Farm. I mean, with altered lyrics, possibly for copyright reasons. I'm not actually sure. So what this one does is, if you look at the kind of initial picture here, your right hand is on a group of 3 black notes, again with those same fingers, 2, 3, 4, and your left hand is on a group of the 2 black notes right below. So you have, right? You have those 5 notes. And then if you read through it, right, it's, again, you got to watch out for RH for right hand, LH for left hand. So we got RH, right hand to start, and it says finger 2. We do it 3 times, so 1, and then left hand's going to go down and play finger 3. Right. Same thing here. You can do a bar line after every 4 beats. So, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, draw a line. In this case, I guess a big line down because these are basically simultaneous now, right? It's not 2 different lines of music. It's 1 line that incorporates both hands. So 1 big line there, 1 big line there, etc. Same thing on this page. You can draw bar lines to separate them. So I'll play through this whole thing here. Notice that there's a repeat sign here. I don't know if we've talked about that yet, but if you see those 2 dots, it means go back to the beginning and play that section again, and then you move on. Let's see here. So I'll play the whole thing. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And repeat. There we go. So I will send over these 3 songs to try. So I'm curious to hear next week if they were actually too easy, which they certainly could be, right? Or if it actually felt like a good place to start, or maybe even the songs that we've been working on maybe are feeling really good now. So interested to hear how that's all going. But I'll get this video uploaded. I'll get all these songs scanned and sent over to you. And yeah, so I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next Friday.